I don't need anymore.
Okay, recording is starting. That's the important one. And streaming, click. The stream is coming online. Okay, and it says we're live. So, gentlemen, let's get right into it. So for future Joe, I guess, Adam is here, but there's COVID in the house, so his camera is not on, but he is present.
Yeah.
So, Session 2 recap for my boys. For our last session, the team began their first night as a group in the strange new world of Illowy Vale, in their own rooms in DeLorean's plantation. Let me move my mic so you can actually hear me. After receiving their first payment and a dagger, the team met downstairs for breakfast with Dell and was soon joined by Reginald, who said he had been looking for someone without luck of finding them. While discussing things over a plate of hot food, the team was interrupted by a sudden calamity outside in the chicken pen where they had to fight off a bewitched chicken of sorts. After a few missed hits, the team was able to kill the foul creature, fortunately without taking much damage themselves other than to their self-esteem and psychic damage from bad puns. After stepping away for an aside, Reginald and Dell spoke privately about how to track down whomever may have done this, and Reginald stated that he needed proper materials to accomplish this. While the team was doing their best to listen in on the conversation, Jiggy showed up on the farm and added that they had a sixth member to their group, a strange creature named Koila, who was rumored to have been looking for a powerful mage in the Northern Arc. After much deliberation and decision-making, Dell granted the team passage to the North Arc, which would have also granted access for Koila, but was ultimately needed in order to find the necessary materials that Reginald needed to track down whomever cursed the chickens. Sorry, every time we start, just part of the stream. I gotta clear my throat 50 times. In exchange for this, Dell warned that they must avoid any and all contact with a man named Archiphagus, while they were also tasked with finding Koila and bringing her back within 4 days. Journeying outward, they went to the North Arc, where they found the contact that Reginald had told them to search for, a sickly pale-looking gent with patches of hair that kind of tufted out from beneath his clothing, nicknamed Mitts. I said they stared at the man? I don't know. Oh, okay, yeah. Now I see where I was going with that. They stared at the man as he revealed his hidden materials to create the concoction for them, and once it was complete, he quickly bid them adieu. The team left to wander the North Arc and discovered another healer house as well as the wealthier side of town where supposedly the mages like to live. And so, with Session 3, as you guys are beginning as Commoners Level 2, you don't have to long rest for this. You guys are right outside the garage kind of style enclosure where Mitz is still just chilling on his empty display cases with the shelves that were all empty. You guys pass the healer house, where Mitz is now. You know the direction of the finer living of the supposed mages, I guess. If I remember correctly, you also passed a cathedral-looking building. I don't...
Alea's Tower.
Okay, you did see the name. Yes, it is Alea's Tower.
The tavern?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, you guys didn't see inside or anything like that. I think you guys are pretty much on a mission.
Yeah.
And we were maybe looking for Lady Dane.
Tell Lady Dane it's not ready yet was where we ended on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys have not met Lady Dane. I think that's the first you've heard of her.
It is. Yeah.
I believe that's right too, yeah.
Okay. So, the town is yours. What would you guys like to do first? And, you guys could talk as players as well. I will say, with how long it took you guys to get to the North Arc, as well as with your interaction with Mitz, it's about 3 in the afternoon. So still plenty of time left in the day, but you guys are on a time limit. However, that might affect your next decisions. And
so, what time of day is it?
about 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Okay.
Okay, so we need to find Lady Dane. We need to find Koila and Archificus. Are the 3.
The only thing you need to do is find Koila.
Yeah,
I got what you said. I just wanted.
Archificus will just not sure about the whole Lady Dane thing, but the other 2 is stuff that we'll have to find along the way, because Archificus is going to be our way out of this slavery.
Or is he?
Or a possibility. Possible way, maybe.
Thank you.
Hell, maybe he'll just pay us all off. I don't know.
Here's 75 gold. Don't tell nobody.
Sweet.
Yeah, so you guys are together outside Mitz's garage. I don't think at this part quite yet. So you guys would notice, between the North Arc and the East Arc, there is a very immediate racial, observable racial difference. So where the East Arc was more kind of generally mixed without things like dwarves or half-orcs or minotaurs, you notice that the North Arc is primarily gnomes, halflings, and very, very infrequently will you see elves, as well as human-looking races. And whereas in the East Arc, you guys, a lot of the places where you went, you would see people catching the blue arcane symbols that were very slowly moving around your guys' left wrist, and you'd notice they'd kind of sneer or maybe go out of their way to avoid even accidentally talking with you guys. Whereas in the North District, you get the sense that people know, but it's way lower on their list of things to care about. They'll walk past you and if you didn't know any better, they wouldn't even know that you were slaves, because they don't do anything out of the ordinary.
Okay, well, I'm gonna ask her, do we need to find this Lady Dane, or what? I just know we need to tell her it's not ready yet for Mitz, but
that seems kind of like a side thing to do. We need to find this Koila.
Do you think we should check inside the tavern to see if anyone has seen her, or?
Couldn't hurt to ask around. We don't know anybody. What do you all think?
Elena's gonna start making her way towards the tavern then.
Yeah, I'll just follow Alena.
Yeah.
Okay.
You had me at tavern.
Okay. Let me see if this works. It's not going to work. Okay. That's fine. I just have to queue up a link real quick. I didn't have it queued up because I did not think you guys were just going to jump into it. So let me grab that real quick. Yeah, but as you guys are traveling...
Yeah, fuck you, Dia.
As you guys are backtracking a little bit, the weather outside is frightful. No, it's actually quite nice today. God, it's very difficult to do all these things at once. And I really hate showing my screen on Discord, or my Discord screen on stream, but that's just the way it's going to have to be. As you guys are traveling around, it's kind of that same halfling and gnome breakdown. Very few elves, and this is probably going to play immediately. Oh, I forgot. Discord bots like banned all YouTube access. RIP. Okay. So that's fine. We don't need the exact song. But so as you guys are traveling through, you hear a distinct sound that you had not heard before. I don't think you guys have heard it at all while you were... What is opening right now? I don't think you guys have heard it at all since you got here. And to Angene, this will be among one of the sweetest sounds he has heard for quite some time. It is music playing out of, and very voluminously out of the doors of this cathedral. So as you guys approach, you can see that the large, arched, very ornate wooden doors are wide open. They always have like the most beat up looking little like kickstands that hold the door open. This place is no exception. You guys could click the link to the song if you wanted to hear it, at least get a feel for the vibe that's coming out. You hear this booming organ coming through, these long elongated notes that kind of shift intermittently, as well as a violin that is paired with it, playing at the same time and playing its own melody. Entering Alea's Tower, the cathedral. So you can definitely tell that they didn't necessarily put a lot of work into making like a full conversion out of this. A lot of these what looks to be original stained glass remains. A lot of the pews. So as you guys enter from the door and look straight back, you can see what once might have been a nice kind of green marble looking altar has been converted to a bar where all of the drinks are served. And all of the pews that are between you guys and the bar altar, all of them face forward still, but many of them have been, like every other row, it looks like, has been removed, and they brought in sort of restaurant-style long singular tables, and the wear over all of the backs of the pews that remain, you can tell is mostly how people kind of get in and out of these seats without much care for preservation, shall we say. So the bar, the altar, whatever, that sits at the very back also sits below this sort of stone-looking balcony, but it leans inward rather than outside the building, and you guys can see the shining chrome pipes that all organs have up behind it, and it's Angene, I think, might know this. Vinny, you can kind of decide how familiar he is with organs. It is not a particularly large organ set. Like, it's not the entire building like most organs are. He's trying to figure out acoustically, like, okay, all of the pipes are right there. Like, there might be some small or high notes that are hidden behind the walls, but he could tell that it's not exactly a fancy set.
No.
But the music, and he hasn't heard music now for a day and a half, maybe a little longer, and I feel like he just instant chills as he enters.
Much better feeling.
Yes. So so on the wall directly behind the bar, there are numerous metal signs, drinking labels, and old tools, kind of for that, what is that, Applebee's, where they put stuff all over the wall. A bunch of restaurants do that now. But there's all kinds of things. Yeah.
Jonies?
Is that Office Space? Is that what that was a reference?
Super Troopers.
Oh, okay. Never mind. But yeah, there are many signs of different lagers and beers and all kinds of alcoholic drinks. Closer towards the bar, somewhat hidden behind the large, like, wooden supports that climb up the walls and arch to the center of the room, you can make out that there are some other hallways at the end that sort of extend to the left and to the right. And behind the bar, you guys, what Vinny would recognize, or I'm sorry, what Angene would recognize as a halfling, a very short woman. If you guys haven't seen halflings before, you might even confuse them for a child. Is a halfling woman with fair skin and hair that is pulled up into two long and thick, dirty blonde braids that run down the back of her head, and then down the front of her shoulders where they actually stop at her waist. So, while for a halfling that might not be that long, anybody else who's grown their hair out that far knows that it takes a while to get your hair that long. She has a pretty constant resting bitch face with a get back stare, and she is not, you guys can like kind of hear as you're entering the space that she's not really afraid to use that look to her advantage if somebody is taking a bit too long to order drinks. And directly in front of her are like several taps, as well as a very large beer mug that has in big, bold black letters written on it, tips. So you guys are entering the space. It's not particularly busy. There's probably around a half dozen, maybe 10 patrons in the bar that you can see. Nobody is talking really loud enough to overcome the music. It's kind of like, this is why they come here. It could be the end of their workday. It could be maybe before their workday, and they're just trying to have a pint with a friend before it starts. So you guys enter the space, and the same thing that's been going on in the North Arc. You catch a couple glances, like people like look you up and down, like, okay, but no one gets up or moves. They just kind of go back to their own business.
All right. Let's see. I want to. Is the half elf? Were they were behind the, or not the half elf? The
halfling.
They were behind the bar, or at the bar.
Yes. You don't see who is playing the music. You know where they are, but you get Alena gets the sense that this is Alea, who they are looking at behind the bar, and it's definitely obvious she's like standing on something.
I wanna go talk to her.
Yeah, so she like reaches down and gets a couple, like maybe 2 or 3 mugs ready, because she's like just kind of sizing you guys up, like most of them will probably drink, but I don't really know. And she doesn't say anything as you approach.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Are you Alea?
You gonna order anything?
Maybe. I was hoping you could. I was hoping you had some. Could tell me. I'm looking for someone.
Okay.
Her name is Koila.
She like looks up at Harratuk, like way up at Harratuk. You want a drink, big guy? Like totally dismissing Alena.
Have you seen someone named Koila?
Can't say I have. People don't really introduce themselves to me.
Well,
and if they do,
what did that guy say Koila looked like?
Sorry, Jake, go ahead.
Sorry. I say to the group, like as Harratuk, what did that guy say Koila looked like? I don't remember.
Blue clothing.
Blue clothing.
Kind of a cat lady. Blue robes.
Vehicle
beaded necklaces and bracelets.
what they said.
She like pretends to like inspect her tip jar, like just the big word tips is right across.
So I'll just put my 2 copper in there.
Yeah,
Nah.
she like
I'll reach up.
yeah, right. Yeah, I guess Karl would kind of have to reach because he's taller than a halfling. But the altar is not made for halflings or dwarves. So she hears the like very dissatisfying dull clink of 2 copper pieces. and she's like, there might have been a cat looking thing around here. I don't know. I don't really pay attention.
Sorry, that's all I got.
I'll pop in the 1 silver that we got from DeLorean.
I turned towards Alena slowly.
Is that a yes, I should do that, or a no, I shouldn't do it? Look.
Well, I want to find her and go back to Delarian.
I love that kind of imagery. Fucking 10 out of 10. So she like fishes that one out and puts it in her back pocket. She might have been here, I don't know, start of the day. She wasn't in here long. I didn't get a good look at her, but you don't see a lot of furry creatures around here.
Do you know which way she went?
I can't say I do. But she came in asking questions, kind of like you guys, and didn't order anything, kind of like you guys.
What was she asking about?
Make a perception, or I'm sorry, a persuasion check.
Woo.
I'll give you advantage on that one too, since you threw in a silver.
Sweet.
You'll see me back when I've got coin.
What can I buy for 2 copper?
She kind of goes, "Are you serious?"
Oh gosh.
I shrug.
She's like, I've got some swill of like different drinks, I guess I could throw together. Not really enough for a full glass on their own, but
Well, I mean, I feel bad not buying anything, so I just have to buy what I can. So,
and she like, yeah, thank the beard for this one. Don't worry about it. And you hear like her, she like takes one of the mugs and brings it down, and you can kind of see her like maybe what might look like her like rocking like those small kegs, or well, I guess they're not kegs, whatever they're called, kind of rocking them forward to get whatever might be left inside a couple times, and you can hear like things on the altar like kind of shaking as she's under the table working with this thing. And even she is like, ugh, like, there you go. It's a pretty dark amber color, whatever it is.
I'm gonna hand it to Karl. I'm not gonna give her the.
I'll take a sip.
Gonna give her the.
Hearty sip.
Give her the 2 copper.
Given Karl, I don't know if he would care for taste so much at this point, rather than the fact that it's like alcohol.
I miss alcohol.
Gathered as Erevan, I'm like, Karl seems to like his alcohol. Doesn't really matter what kind it is. So, but she's very adamant about us making a purchase, so I'll make a purchase and give him the alcohol and let him do his thing. That's how I'm seeing it.
And she watches. Matt, I think you said a hearty sip.
Oh, sweet nectar.
So yeah, you definitely see like a little respect, maybe a smidgen. She's like, all right. And Alena, I think you were gonna add something, or go on.
Well, I rolled a 12 first and then a 16.
Okay, yeah. And your, I believe your original question was, what did she ask about?
Yes.
Okay. She's like, and now you can see her like kind of lean back and like she's actually putting some effort into recalling information.
Hey.
She was looking for something and she like slides Karl a napkin as it like dribbles down his beard. She was looking for someone, asking about a mage or something. There's actually quite a few of them here. I don't know any of their names. They don't really come to the tower very much.
Did it happen to be Archificus?
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Yeah. Why is he?
Fancy robes.
Is he in trouble? Again?
Not as far as we're concerned.
Yeah, we're not sure. We need to find Koila, and if she's with him,
Who's that?
Where's he at?
The cat lady. It's kind of a fetch.
Ah. I'm pretty sure he lives. I'm pretty sure he lives in the northern, the high status society. She says with this like poisonous sizzle like on her lips.
I nod, taking another sip.
Yeah.
During this, I'm like less interested in this conversation than I am the music. Angene is just going to kind of like saunter off, just like ever so slightly edging away from the conversation to look for the musicians playing the music.
Yeah. Trying to think. Make an investigation check, or make a perception.
The perception. Okay.
Or if you have a bonus in one over the other, you can take whichever one. Which
No.
I think both are wisdom anyway. Oh, that's lovely. I can hear my cat throwing up outside my door.
Sip.
That's a surprise for later.
That's a 16.
16?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna start looking around and kind of rather haphazardly just like shuffling over the pews. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. And people are kind of like, Jesus Christ, like that's a big guy, as he's just lumbering past them, but careful enough not to spill their drinks. He finds on the right side is a kind of a much less ornate than the front door. It's just kind of a basic, like walnut stained arch door with like square cuts going down the board, and there is like a small metal plaque that just says stairway on it, and I'm gonna kind of just creaks the door a little bit because he doesn't want to be rude, and the stairs go up, and he can put like two and two together that, you know, the only stairs that go up either go to the tower, which he is not directly under, or they lead up in a spiral way to the I actually don't know what that's called, if it has like an official name, so we'll just call it the balcony for now, where they're playing.
Oh, okay.
And no one stops him or anything. It's if he's claustrophobic at all, yeah, that might set in a little bit, because those stairways are always real narrow and the steps are very close together. Not that he can't ascend it, but that tightness might close in on him if he's concerned about that kind of thing.
No, I think Angene is a big enough person that like most things are like that for him. because they're not built for somebody who's 6'8", 270.
This one especially is not built for
that. Right. So I guess I'd just be like, it'd be like going over to Annabelle's house. It's just like it's a halfling house. It's not made for an half-orc.
Well, then I guess he's right at home then.
Exactly.
With more music.
Indeed.
So yeah, you guys are talking to Alea, and I'm gonna just kind of like bopping, just kind of like shuffles off, and Alea, like, her eyes follow you, but she doesn't. But she doesn't even ask or stop you or anything.
Right.
Was there another question to Alea that you guys wanted to ask, or if I didn't answer one?
Elena's good for now, I guess.
I would just say, if you got any work, you contact DeLorean down at the farm. We're gonna be looking for work for a bit, probably.
She kind of thinks. There was a student of mine. I haven't seen his father for quite a while. He used to be kind of a regular, and my student hasn't been coming around lately. If you wouldn't mind checking up on them, I'd appreciate it. And you can kind of, I don't want to say sense, but maybe detect, like, the abrasiveness of her personality is kind of coming down, since you guys have bought some drinks at this point, and now you're like, hey, like, we'll help you out. And she's building respect. I wouldn't say she's like at that like +1 respect point yet, but you're getting there. Your modifier is 11, and your respect has to be 12 to get that +1.
Sure. Could you point us in a direction? I assume it's local.
She's like, yeah, they're in the North Arc. It's my student's name. He goes by Ula, Oola. His father's shop, and she just kind of points like straight out the door. He might be a few blocks northwest. It's called Orlephan's Oddities. That's what it is. Orlepphins, and then Oddities. It's called Orlephan's Oddities. He's usually there if he's not hanging around other sketchy places, but that's where he is most of the time. He's got a business to run.
And he lives there, I assume, then.
Maybe.
Alright. You've been kind and given us some information helpful. Yeah, well, at least we can do is return the favor.
Oh, do you also happen to know a Lady Dane?
No.
Thanks,
Okay.
anyway.
Thank you.
I'd sip the drink heavy.
Yeah, it's the first chug-a-lug that he took probably tasted the best, because it took the edge off just a little bit. The second one, flavor sets in, or a mixture of flavors.
Give it a swirl.
Yeah, he gets like 3 different kinds of like wood smoked barreling, but not in ways that necessarily complement each other.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, like there could be like some wine in there. It's a lot. It's a lot, and tastes a lot less good the second time. But to a dwarf, a drink's a drink, I guess.
Do we notice that Angene has left?
Has left the party.
Yeah, I think if you guys are like, kind of like, okay, well, let's start to head out. Where is he?
I feel like we're kind of walking away from the bar now.
Yeah. So we'll say, just for like the sake of it, while you guys are still talking to her about like the mage and Ula and his father, Angene will get to the top where the organist and the violinist are playing. They definitely notice you and kind of like look at each other like, what is that? and why is it up here? But they don't stop. Both of them are halfling, by Angene's eye.
Okay. I just kind of like sheepishly like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Appreciating the music.
I don't have a violin, so this paper towel will have to do. Like, just kind of like turning to like, and then turns back, and is like kind of shrugs with whatever room they have to shrug.
Yeah.
And then I'd say I'm gonna probably just savors the music for a minute, maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I would say over the course of the next couple minutes, you would like see your friends down below kind of like breaking away from the front of the room and like looking around, and he'd probably determine
yes,
it's
I
for
would
him.
go down. Yeah, it's time to go back down.
Okay. Was there anything Harratuk or Erevan wanted to do? Harratuk, we'll start with you.
No.
Okay. Erevan?
No. Buy the drink for Carl. That was my main thing.
Okay. So, you guys spot Angene kind of like shuffling
Clambering down.
Yeah, out of this very tight-looking hallway. And kind of the same thing as before, bull in a china shop, just like stepping over all the pews, and people are just kind of like ducking to get out of the way of his swinging the tree trunks for legs.
Sorry, pardon me.
And you guys rejoined by the front door.
All right.
Thanks for the drink, Erevan. I needed that more than you know.
Oh, you're very welcome. I figured it might soften her up a little bit anyways.
Me too.
Where did you run off to, Angene?
Oh, I was just admiring the musicians. It's been a long time since I've heard music, so, I know that sounds crazy because we've only been here like a day and a half, but that's a long time for me.
All right. Well, glad you enjoyed it. We're out to do a favor for Alea. We're looking for someone named Ula.
Okay, sounds good.
There's a little shop near here. It's called Orlefian's Oddities. But maybe northwest a bit. 3 blocks.
All right.
I'll head out.
All right. Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Yep.
So, Carl said it first, I suppose. So, Carl, make an investigation check.
Oh.
So we can.
No bonuses, but no negatives either. 18.
All right, you guys are rolling great tonight. I'm about it. So yeah, Carl, pretty much like to the perfect cardinal direction, like takes you guys to the northwestern direction and goes perfectly 3 blocks. And this particular building is not hard to find with an 18. Whereas most of the homes in this area retain that, I don't know if there's a name to the style of the home, but that southern Georgia Savannah look, where a lot of them are sort of 2, maybe 3 stories with stone steps ascending to a front door. This one is ground level, where the door is, has kind of these nice white pillars that lead up to the second level of the building, where a wall and some windows would pick up. So the door is kind of recessed a bit back under the overhang of the front of the building. And there's a sign on the outside that says Orlefan's Oddities, and it has little gears sort of around the sign. It's a bit of a rustic looking thing. As well as there are kind of random objects around the sign, like screws and like tools and that kind of thing. So walking in, the building is not very big in comparison to the... my music got really loud. Hopefully that's not too loud for the stream. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Because I can't tell how the volume is. Because for me it's super quiet, but every time I watch the stream back, it's a lot louder. And it's
Break
like
their eardrums.
it's like an adjustment of like 1, 2, or 3%. Georgian architecture. Thank you, Viking, and thank you for those subs, by the way. I really appreciate it, because I think that's like 10 for you now. You maniac.
Viking's got knowledge.
We'll have to keep her around because I don't. So as you guys, it's you could tell kind of immediately that the general size of the singular room that you can at least see is a lot similar to the size of like Mitz's garage, where there's room for like a few cases, some shelving, and then the purveyor of the stand. And from Alea's description, you might have been expecting this. If you were expecting the father, it would have been a bit older looking. It would have been a bit older of a looking individual. As soon as you guys walk in, you see. Whereas Alea was a halfling, who you guys might mistake for like a child, or at least a very shrunken and maybe not old enough looking human. I don't think any of you have seen gnomes. Angene maybe, but probably not to the point where he would like know necessarily that they were gnomes. He might just assume like, oh, that's a strange looking individual, but I'm a strange looking individual. Isn't that just great? So as you guys walk in, you notice this like definitely like having Alea as the comparison. This person has kind of a larger nose. The shape of their face is a little bit wider with a little bit larger eyes, and they do look a lot younger than Alea. You notice now by comparison that she had like some set wrinkles in her face, probably from constantly frowning, whereas this person has young, taut skin, also fair skin, and short, kind of somewhat coiffed back hair. And they are in this fine, like red velvet vest with like those white shirts that have like the gentleman's like pinches going down or whatever they're called. Viking probably knows. I don't know. But they perk up immediately as you guys enter the room, and like make sure their vest is on straight. Hi, welcome to Orlefan's Oddities. What can I help you with? Gentle people.
Hi, I'm looking for an Ula.
And it gets like a big smile. That's me.
Hi.
Hi.
I just came down here from Alea's tower, and she's worried about you. Just wanted to check in.
And the next thing he says, I think each of you would be like, what? He goes, she's always so nice. Like, she's so great. And he kind of like drops a bit of the professionalism in his, yeah, I have been getting violin lessons over there, and I haven't.
Angadas leans in, like,
and he like definitely like eyes wide, like kind of backs up. You guys can discern he has a stutter and kind of difficulty speaking at times, and that kind of like does not help. I'm gonna make an accidental intimidation check. Which I think you're proficient in because you're half-orc.
Yes, I am.
Not proficient, but you have a bonus to it.
No, I am proficient.
Oh!
Tell me it's a 20.
Holy fuck. Nat 20.
Yes.
I just made this kid shit himself.
Oh no, we came
right.
here for one thing.
Notes. Angene 20s-1. So yeah, Angene like leans in, like tusks protruding, like a brooding light takes over. And to Angene, he's just like a kid in a candy store, like, ee. But to everybody else, they're like, yo, dude,
Oh no.
And Ula definitely, like, as you like lean, as Angene leans in, he like leans down like under the desk, and please stop.
I'm sorry. Am I bothering you?
And you hear like this big voice crack. No, just a little too close.
Oh, I'm sorry. I back up.
And he stays there for a second as you back away, but I imagine still like holding a big smile.
He's very friendly, just imposing.
I apologize. My bad. I wasn't trying to scare you. I just I used to take viola lessons as well, and so it was just exciting to hear that somebody else is practicing to play music.
And he was like, yeah, I'm not very good. I would love to practice more and be better. But my dad leaves to travel and bring back other, and he like kind of gestures around to the store where there are various kind of not knickknacks per se, but strange looking objects that you guys maybe have not seen before. There are lots of little trinkets around, nothing of a weapon variety, but there look to be like eccentric dolls, and there are these delicately carved like stone looking objects. I would say that just looking at the rock, Karl would know that it does not come from the fortress, or at least from any stone that he knows. But from what he can see, it does appear to have some kind of fine craftsmanship to it. And it looks to be in the shape of something that's humanoid, that's kind of like big and standing upright, maybe representing some kind of armor of some kind, as well as other kind of various trinkets in the display cases. And he goes, I my father leaves every so often to, he gestures to the store, to get more things, and I'm the only one who can watch the shop when he's gone.
Oh, aye. Bit of an adventurer, is he?
Yes, he went to, and he pulls out kind of a crude map. It's got, I'm trying to think. None of you would recognize this side of the continent. But you can see everybody is familiar with the Drake Crag Mountains. You can see this is kind of like on the north end of it, and he has this big line from starting at the just a little off to the east side of the top of the Drake Crag Mountains, a traced route going from there to where he has marked as Illowy Vale. He's trying to point it out. He went to Fury Keep. That's where he gets a lot of his trinkets.
Sounds scary. Never heard of it.
Oh, it's nice. It's a big city. They have a university there.
Oh, name's deceiving, I guess.
It could be. I've never been there.
Well, just so long as you're here, you're fine.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna let her know that you're fine.
That's nice of you. Thank you.
Aye. And I hope your dad makes it back alright.
I think he'll be okay. He sends me a letter when he gets there.
Well, sorry again for making you a little nervous, but
and you can still, he doesn't shrivel per se when Angene starts talking, but you can see him definitely kind of like retreating a little bit, like kind of trying to make himself as small a target as possible.
But I really hope your violin lessons go well. I hope you play wonderful music.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
And he tries to catch Harratuk. Excuse. Oh, and then he Harratuk is also quite large and terrifying. Actually, Harratuk, I'm gonna have you make an intimidation check as well. We'll see if he has the courage.
Just because of you.
The trauma.
What do I add to it?
It would be charisma.
You trying to pad Harratuk?
Which for Harratuk is 0. Or your charisma is 10, but your modifier is 0.
5.
Harratuk, I guess he just got it all out. Excuse me. I guess he just got it all out when he just did that big look to Alena at Alea's. He's looking kind of.
I don't know what I did wrong there.
Kind of puffy and nice. He goes, sir.
Yes.
You look awfully strong. Would you mind delivering something for me?
What is it?
And he hops down off one of the whatever he was standing on, and he kind of clambers over to the back of the store. and he has like a dolly. He has a dolly with like 3 large crates on it, and you can hear like the wheels. He has to like hold it up here because it's a regular size dolly, as he like squeak 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 squeak. And you can see this like dust kind of plume outward from the bottom, and he is like out of breath from walking 5 feet with the dolly. I'll drop the voice for a second so you guys can understand what he's asking. So he asks Harratuk, since he looks rather strong and formidable, if you would be able to do trying to think of like the words, I guess a delivery, if you'd be willing to do a delivery for him, because it's kind of approaching the end of the day. It's around 5 o'clock at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And his delivery has to go pretty far north, and he doesn't think with his little legs, as well as the size of the delivery, that he'd be able to get there in time. And he's like, I'll pay, and he like kind of like looks, 2 gold? It comes with a mage's medallion, so you can get to the North Arc, and nobody will bug you.
Okay.
Cough.
Are we not in the North Arc?
I'm sorry. You are in the North Arc. He's the nicer part of the North Arc, where the larger houses are. It'll get you in the nicer part of the North Arc.
Okay.
All right. And he runs to the back real quick, and you hear like a couple things break. Oh. comes back out. 2 shiny gold pieces to Mr. Harratuk. So he does not give you a name. And he kind of goes into like, whenever he makes deliveries to this particular individual, that they actually pay him to be like the first one to see whatever oddities that he think might be worth bringing over to this particular house. He explains like he does, this client mostly does business with his father, whose name is Sindri, Sindri, Sindri Orlefin. So Orlefin's oddities, that is their last name, and this is Ula. So he tells you that this, he's never met this person. He's always kind of had to be, his conversations have always been relegated to speaking with like the help around the house, or he's been told to like, go play while Sindri would do his business. And this is kind of his first big delivery that he wanted to prove to his father he could do it. So he is very cheerful once he hands you the gold, and because he's like, oh man, I got like such a good deal. Like my dad is gonna be so proud of me. And he's like, shoot, 1 second. And he runs back again. And nothing breaks this time. And he comes back out, and he has this, it's sort of like a pocket watch shape, where it's that round kind of bubbled medallion with like a notch on top. It's not a pocket watch. It's a solid object. It's like a pin, more like it. But it has that shape to it. And Harratuk, he knows what books are. There's kind of a mystic looking book on the front. It's got different symbols that he's never seen before. I don't think he would have seen it, or at least he wouldn't be able to recognize him. But it is a gold pin with the book and mystic symbols on the front, and there are 8 sort of. The book is open, I should say. You're not looking at the cover, and there are sort of 8 rays, like emitting from the center of this design. And he goes, "That's the mage's medallion. It'll let you go through the North Arc, and if anyone bothers you, this will clear the way for you."
Right.
And he's he like looks in his pockets. He pulls out a piece of paper. And he he obviously knows he has trouble speaking, so he starts to do this little drawing that is not. It's not a great drawing, like, it's not like an artist's depiction or anything, but you guys can very clearly like see what he wants you to look for when searching for the house. So he has this little rather simple drawing. It is a 3-story building made of stone brick and cobblestone, and it is in a very I should have drawn this out myself. It is in a very square-looking W shape, so there is a large jutting center portion. It kind of comes back, and then there are wings out to the side that also come forward. It is lined with windows and hedges, and you guys get the idea. This is going to be schwanky.
Ooh la la.
And he just makes a face like, yeah. And he hands Harratuk the gold and the medallion. Harratuk, he probably only comes up to like your thigh. He's not that tall, and he is you can see it in his eyes. He's like contemplating if he wants to pin it on you, and then he just hands it off to you.
Alright, I take it.
Matt, I don't think I can do it from my stream software. Can you ban that guy in the chat?
Already done.
Oh, you're so quick.
What did it say?
Drop the ban hammer.
Selling follows and primes and viewers.
How do I close this now? Oh no. There it is. Okay. Sorry about that. Kyle, I think you were gonna ask something.
Yeah, I want to lean down to Ula, just real quick. And it's like, you can go up ahead and pet him. He likes his leg being pet, especially after a deal's been done.
And Alena leans in, and he turns like beet red, and like, and like just kind of like looking at Alena and just doing this motion. Maybe he reaches Harratuk, maybe he doesn't. Harratuk, you can decide if like he would stand there and let the pet happen, or if he'd like take a step back.
I would take a step back.
Okay. He is definitely doing like this motion, but just like not breaking eye contact with Alena, and has this big like goofy smile. Like doesn't even realize. Matt, you're frozen laughing on my screen. Oh, there we go. Like not even realizing he didn't even get anywhere near Harratuk. He just like turns away from Alena real slow, and then walks back behind his like display case that he also uses as kind of like a countertop. Okay. Is there anything else you need?
Have you seen a feline around?
And he gets this real weird look. No.
Okay, we're looking for her. She's supposed to be around here somewhere.
Oh, I'll keep an eye out. If you have spare coin, you could make a job posting.
Unfortunately, we're a little short on money.
Oh.
But we'll make some eventually.
You've been so kind. Thank you so much already.
And he's like,
Thanks, Ula.
you guys are welcome. And you can see him as you
By
guys
the
are
way,
like, oh, go ahead,
by the way,
Erevan.
what's the quickest way to make 15 gold around here? If you know.
He's like, that's a lot of money. The job, and he like looks at you guys, like you've got Angene, who's huge and absolutely terrifying.
He will do anything.
You have Harratuk, who is gigantic and not as terrifying. Alena, who makes him turn beet red. A dwarf, and then Erevan.
Erevan is just rubbing his goatee as well. When he just wished.
He's like, well, the job postings might have some ways to make money, although much of them are hunting quests, and I don't know if you guys are up for that.
Not necessarily that we're not up for it, it's whether we can get out of the city to do said quest.
Oh, and then he looks at your guys' wrists. Oh.
Yeah, we're in a bit of a predicament.
I try not to judge people before I know them. There are other quests on the board that might be where you can go. I'm not familiar with slaves. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You've been very helpful, Ula.
Thanks. And he's like, what's your name, miss?
Oh, my name is Alena.
And he has this like kind of like relaxing deep exhale as he speaks. No stutters this time. Alena.
And my name's Angene.
Like the residual 20 goes immediately back to stuttering. Okay. I'm gonna.
Nice to meet you, buddy.
His teeny tiny little hand in your massive mitts, like, and his arm is just a wet noodle for Angene. And he like, thank you again for stopping in and checking on me.
Thanks
I'm gonna-
for being here.
I'm gonna put my hand on his face and say, "You're welcome. We'll see you later," and start walking out.
So there's beet red and then there's cherry red. Cherry red usually comes from like heat, like heated, very warmly heated objects, shall we say. Cherry red.
He's never gonna wash that side of his face again.
No, probably not. Amazing.
Fucking simp.
Amazing.
15 golds, 15 gold.
We really put him through a range of emotions today.
He paid you 2 gold.
No, it was a joke.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, now I get... All right, yeah. Wow, that took me way too long. Yeah. Okay. You got one on me. Not gonna happen again. Yeah, right. Yeah, shut up. So with the I guess portrait, or at least a crude drawing of the kind of house that you guys are looking for. You guys, I assume, grab the crates of. Did he tell you what was in them? No. Okay.
No.
Okay. So you.
We don't ask questions.
Yeah. So for him, for Alena. Well, hold on here.
We're just the transporters. We don't
It's
care
above
what's
my
in the
pay
package.
grade.
We just transport.
So. Yeah. Okay. So this is pretty narratively fitting. Angene and Harratuk both have no trouble like lifting this doll and manipulating it. Karl, if he gets anywhere near it, he like glides this thing around. He has 0 issues with like the weight or just the how everything kind of shifts when it moves. He is more than capable of lifting a few boxes.
The manual labor.
I've lifted B as heavy than you. So whoever wants to carry it, doesn't really matter. Who wants to lead?
I think it's funniest if I do it, so I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Let's do investigation. Or investigation and perception. At this point, it's not that big a
Are
difference.
we? So we're not stopping by to like Aaliyah know.
No, we should. We should stop by since it's 3 blocks away, right?
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
just drop by real quick.
Okay. Yeah. She is. You guys pick up like a mixture of emotions off her. She's like super surprised that number 1 that you actually went, number 2 that you came back to let her know, and that if you guys want to fill her in on this, fine. If not, that's okay too. Quite warmly receptive to the fact that you offered to help not only her, but now Ula, who, as you guys would fill her in, like his dad's out, and she's like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, she's like, I forgot he takes these extended trips to parts known and unknown for oddities that he brings back to sell, because he pretty much is the only person who would bring that kind of stuff in. And a pretty immediate change in her what's the word I want here? In her
Demeanor?
Disposition. Yeah.
both,
Demeanor?
yeah. But yeah, the way she engages with you guys, it turns very warm, very fast.
She likes us now.
And then she kind of she knows that you guys are doing something for Ula, so she doesn't take a long time to explain that it is not unusual for people to and she kind of like gestures to herself. Halflings are, she tells you guys, are usually rather happy individuals, and she has been taken advantage of more than once in her short life here, and that putting up a cold front pretty much shuts that down for most people that come in the bar.
Aaliyah will remember this.
And she like, she's like, you guys are all right. And she like looks around and pulls out this bucket full of like these big metal keys and like sorts through a few of them. She goes, if you guys need a place to stay while you're in the North Arc, she's like, these rooms are on me. You guys each, there's three of them, so I'm sorry I don't have room for all of you, but it'll save you a trip back to the. Did you guys? It was either to her or to Ula that you guys mentioned DeLorean.
I mentioned DeLorean.
I think you did mention it to her. Yeah, she goes.
Yeah.
I don't know DeLorean at all, but if he's in the East Arc, then this will save you a lot of time and a lot of walking.
Yeah, it's huge.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you very much.
That's
Thank you.
a heap of trouble. Thank you so much.
And she gets out like a glass of a single liquid and hands it to Karl, and she just goes, "No, thank you."
Oh, I take it and sip happily.
Oh, it's tasty. Has a nice like kind of like berry aftertaste. Goes down real smooth.
Oh my god, that's delicious. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Like a Hungarian bathtub liquor.
What?
Tasty is tasty.
Yeah, Angene, go ahead.
If you don't mind me asking, Ula said that he was taking violin lessons here. Might I ask who the teacher is?
And she's like, myself, I teach him.
Oh, you play violin?
Yes.
I play viola.
Well, we'll have to get an accompaniment going sometime. And you can still hear music going on in the background. The organist has stopped, and it is just the violinist at this point. And she she points upward. That's another student of mine. And she looks around. I don't have them now. I might have to bring them tomorrow, but if you'd like to play a piece with us tomorrow, maybe in the morning, if you guys choose to stay here, we'd love to play along with you.
Absolutely. That would be amazing.
Excellent. I'll have to warm up my fingers. It's been a week or two, but I look forward to our trio.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And back to the shipment.
I'll push that cart.
Push that cart.
The Karl cart.
Matt, I don't know if you rolled yet. Perception or investigation, your choice.
Same difference. 8.
Yeah. So Karl is. I wanted to make a joke about drinking and driving, but he's
that beer.
Yeah.
I haven't had one for a bit.
We'll say 2 days for a dwarf is such a shock to the system that the next beer they get is just like buzzy. You got a nice buzz going. And there's a drinking and driving joke in there somewhere. And I'll say it takes you guys the better part of 2.5 hours to find this building. As you guys are traveling through the nicer end of the North Arc.
That's it. No, I think that's it. Wait. That's it. I'm sure that's it.
Yeah, and
No, that's not it.
we'll say the majority of the time stops come from like the people who frequently stop this drunkard with random boxes from going through the North Arc asking to see your guys' mage medallion. And yeah, and they all like, yeah, that's okay. And they I almost just knocked over my frickin' water.
Unofficial business.
Yeah, and they leave you guys alone. So
God.
after a few hours, so it is pushing like 8:39 at this point. You guys do find the house in question. Going along the very nice part of the North Arc, buildings kind of shift from what feel like crammed together. So a lot of them are that what did Vikings say? Georgian architecture. A lot of them shift from kind of crammed together homes that have like long and skinny windows to really mansions, as large as they would be and as ornate as they would be. Each home you guys pass has their own like fence lining around their property with very I don't want to say delicate, but fine metal fence posts, those real thin ones that that line each section of fencing. And every so infrequently you will see like a break in the monotony where there is a casting of someone's face in the fence work, a mark of luxury.
Oh.
And this area is very well lit. There are natural lanterns you guys see, as well as kind of like I don't want to say a constant stream of light, but every now and then there are like just these gentle floating orbs of luminescence. You guys can't focus on it long enough because it's sort of amorphous and too bright to really stare at, but there doesn't appear to be anything physical either holding these aloft or producing the light, but they just kind of infrequently line the streets, and every now and then they'll hover along with people. They don't with you guys, but you see them doing that. Around kind of that 9 o'clock hour, you guys do find the house in question, and it is like, it was a good picture that Ula drew, but the house is magnificent. The stone brick is like almost perfectly laid along the entire building. Large windows, similar to what DeLorean has, but there's more dimension to the building, so it's a nicer touch to the style, as well as the immaculate like hedging along the base of the house, as well as the either left or right wing, doesn't matter, of the house, where there is vinery growing up the wall. So the front gate is open where you guys enter in, and there is a very nice like this ornate I'm trying to think of a way to describe like nice looking stone, but it's not really coming to me right now. So whereas most of the roads have been not like bad stone walkways, but there are breaks every now and then where like dirt or maybe some small plants grow through. Just as the rest of this house, their pathway is immaculate. The stones are kind of curve cut and fit in with each other, and there is absolutely not a single blade of grass out of place as you guys roll these packages up to the front door.
Knock, knock, knock.
Yeah. Boom, boom. This heavy resonance of a knock on a giant door. So the door.
Ding dong dwarf.
Yes. So as you guys approach, it is another gnome-looking creature in like velvet pantaloons, as well as like a black tux jacket with the long tails on the back, a fine black bow tie, hair slicked back, if you can imagine. And definitely a protruding nose. Yes, may I help you?
Good evening. We've got a delivery for the owners from Orlefins Oddities.
Ah, they're here. Excellent. Please, and like looks way up at the half-orc and the minotaur. Kindly wheel them in if you would.
I wheel them in gladly.
Yeah, so the inside, just as over the top fancy as the outside would be. You have that like black and white checkered floor that has a perfect gloss polished finish. There's a spiral staircase that goes up and to the right at the back of this sort of round room. It's a circular room. There's a massive chandelier hanging from the center of it. There are hallways, a few hallways that go off in directions. You can see like gilded frames with oil paintings or portraits of like you have no idea who they are, but they look they look pretty important, as well as like full sets of armor of human-sized armor, I should say, that go down a couple of the halls. Excellent. Thank you posthumously for bringing this to me. I do appreciate expediency.
You're quite welcome. Orlefins Oddities does aim to please.
Yes, that we are. We know they have many customers, but we like to think we are a cut above the rest.
Oh, aye. Top VIPs in the chain for sure.
Oh, do go on.
Oh, yes. Spoken highly of. We're but delivery drones, but aye. Very well spoken of.
Oh, well. I thank you. I thank you for the speediness of the delivery, and you can see him like looking over the boxes. And I see no damages, no marks. Yeah, they are received in excellent condition. Thank you very much again. I do greatly appreciate this. This will make excellent work for research for my master. Is there anything else I can do for you? And he's like, I beg your pardon, miss.
There was the payment for the expedited order. We haven't received the payment yet.
Make a deception check.
Roll good.
Yep, deception is charisma. Okay, it's straight.
Why is this happening?
13. It's not horrible. Not
Beats-
great, but not horrible.
Beats an 11.
Woo!
And
Lucky turn.
you can see him kind of like look confused for a second, and like in like they might like he is about to question you like for like a receipt or something, but also doesn't want to break like the sort of social politeness.
They must have forgotten to mention it. It's because it was so quick. It just 2 gold was added on.
Oh, well, where are my manners? Excuse me for a moment, please. And he'll have his hands like clasped behind his back as he kind of disappears for a moment behind or down one of the hallways. At which point I imagine Karl is like kind of like doing one of these to Alena's shoulder, like, you dog, like one of those.
Little elbows.
Yeah.
And some eyes.
And he comes out with this very ornate, like this little chest that has gilded little borderings around it. Looks like it's some kind of exotic striped wood. It's just as over the top as everything else here. And on this like velvet red cushion, he has 2 little gold coins. Yeah. I do apologize that we did not pay that in advance. Please accept this.
It's not a problem.
And he like, and he tucks it under his arm and does one of these with his other hand. Please give my sincerest apologies to Mr. Orlefen.
We shall. Thank you very much, sir.
And he, he goes around you guys and opens the door and gives like one of those side bows as you guys exit.
I bow and start backing out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Deep bow. Deep drunken bow.
Like, I have a feeling that Carl would be like, you know, like
I'm just gonna grab Carl a little bit and just kind of start shuffling him out.
And as he's like closing this huge, heavy cathedral door, you can hear him call out, Master Archifagus, your spellbooks are here. Ka-chung!
I knew it!
Dang it!
We need to leave right now. Right now. We have got to go now.
We'll come back tomorrow.
Amazing. So I'm gonna take a quick break. I need to get some more water and I need to use the bathroom. So let's say 15-minute break. We'll come back at 9, and then go from there outside Archifagus's manor.
Oh my god!
Of course.
I felt this coming, and I knew this was gonna happen.
You should have
I
known.
knew there was no name, and I was like, ah!
I swindled money.
Yeah, Kyle, if you think that's not going to come back to bite you, oh, you are sorely mistaken.
I was so upset. Like,
Oh, God.
Check. We're okay.
Fucking.
Okay.
We need the money. We're poor.
I don't have a official stream will be right back page yet, so those of you watching the stream will have to enjoy this nice notepad. Oh god, that looks so trashy. Oh my god, that looks so bad.
come on, make it bigger. Come on.
Listen,
Make it colored. Come on, man.
can I make it bigger?
Copy paste a be right back image in there from Google. Do something. Do something.
Oh, I can make it bigger. Nice. If only I didn't have that problem with my wife. All right, I'll be right back.
I would like to direct everyone to SpaghettiOs on the group notes.
Oh man. Well,
Okay, check. Okay, stream can hear. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
We gotta make some extra gold somehow, so I don't know. Yeah.
This may have been the wrong place.
Hey,
I didn't know.
listen, no risk, no reward, right?
Yeah.
I understand that as well.
Like, one more little swindle like that, and Alena might just buy her own fucking freedom.
Hey, why not?
Right place, right time.
I felt 5 gold was gonna be too much, but 2 gold that sits pretty. That I can work with that. Couple more of those and see ya.
Didn't matter how much you ask, you beat his roll.
No, I know. Well, no, I don't. Even with a
Just
beating
stay
roll,
low. Good job.
straight up 15 asking is gonna he's gonna well, that's so I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know. I thought about 5, but I don't know. I felt 5 was too much.
I just felt a need to catalog things that are going to eventually bite us in the ass.
Why would you say that?
Just things to keep in mind in the future going forward, maybe for certain scenarios in the future.
It's not like he's gonna miss 2 gold.
Bro, I would.
Bro.
I popped open the stream on
You
my
ever met a
phone.
dragon?
I popped open the stream on my phone with that stupid note. It looks so bad.
It looks great.
It looks so bad. I have to see. Okay, it's not on stream. Let me see if I wiped. Yeah, it's not on here. I'll have to go to my my old backup files on my external. I think I still have some leftover transition screens from when I was doing like the solo stream stuff, and I might have a be right back screen. Let me see while we're waiting.
Oh, what was the organ music or whatever that you were trying to play?
If you go to the bot commands chat, the link should be there.
The open Spotify one? Or no.
No, it's above that.
the YouTube.
Oh, the YouTube. I see.
Yeah,
It's really good. I had it playing.
The Vivaldi Concerto for Violin and Organ in D minor.
Vivaldi's a good way to go.
That's really loud, so I'm not going to play that on the stream.
I felt good for Angene on that.
This one was really nice because it felt like what would be in like the background while you're just drinking. Oh, Kyle, you're glitching hardcore.
Oh no.
I thought you were just like making a face at me, like, yeah, Kyle, yeah, I get it, like, but no, you're glitching.
Oh no.
It's really off-putting.
The Wi-Fi in my house is really good. I don't know, new laptop. I don't know.
Am I the only one who
Discord
sees
is
this?
kind of weird sometimes. It could be the background too.
Do you guys see it too?
1 second.
Is it my Discord that's frozen for you, or just
yeah, it's on stream.
or just the
It's like a
stream?
game.
It's definitely on stream. I don't know if it's in your guys' Discord.
It's just on the stream. Because in Discord it's normal. Oh,
I just
There we
just
go.
close the stream down. All right, whatever.
Now you're normal.
Sweet.
You distracted me.
I
wanted-
could have been an animated GIF, dude.
I wanted like a nice background piece. I have another one that's organ and violin, but it's like it's way too emotional for. It's very like dramatic and it has like grandeur to it. Definitely not really. Maybe for like when it's Friday night in the world, not necessarily a Wednesday piece, I would say.
It's Saturday.
Today is Saturday in our world. It is Wednesday in Camarilla.
It is the. I'm keeping better track of time. It's still the 9th, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's almost the 10th.
It is. Yeah, it is Wednesday, June 9th, year 2997 in the Fenian era in Camarilla.
And then 9. It's like 9 p.m. You said?
Yeah. Yeah, it's late.
Yeah. Of course, the sun probably would still somewhat be out in the summer. This close to the solstice.
It's dusky.
Okay.
It's
twilight.
It's dark. Yeah, I wouldn't say pitch black, but the lanterns are out.
Obligatory. I have dark vision.
Yeah, my the other group, they all had it except for Ryan. And I even had in my notes, like, it is dark, but all of you can see except Arkul, LOL.
I am here, by the way, so you know.
Okay, cool.
He was
Thank you,
telling me
Adam.
about that too.
I never left.
Well, you
Not
know,
sure they can't see me, so you don't know that I'm here.
well, the funny shit is that Dragonborn have been reworked a little bit, and he picked one of the reworked ones, which do have dark vision.
Yeah.
Oh.
So out of my 10 players, one of them cannot see in the dark.
Something that I read that I was like, huh, and then I read further. Everybody like seems to think that Dragonborn are like, hey, a dragon and a person got it on, and that is not the case, nor has it ever been the case. And it's like, I feel like there's a collective like Mandela effect, you know, like everybody's just like, oh yeah, somebody boned a dragon and we all got dragonborn, you know, and it's like, no, that's dragonkin. Also, kobolds are just, they are corrupted dragonborn. They are still technically dragonborn.
Fucking Christian.
Oh shit.
Miss y'all so much. I am wasted.
Oh, usual Saturday night friend.
Classic Christian.
See him tomorrow.
Oh, Matt, Christian's digging on the stash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, Matt, there are plenty of people in the guard and the army that wear a stash. You beat them.
Oh, thank you.
Very sexual.
This is
Very.
a crumb duster.
Very.
Some people have the face for it.
I feel like Matt needs to just be wearing a robe right now while he plays.
Yes.
I don't know. I can see like a distinguished
With a
like a
Gandalf
suit and tie.
Yeah, but I just think, the robe with a Gandalf pipe would just do it.
Dude, my one of Amanda's uncle is like, he has like a side hobby where he makes high-end tobacco pipes. They're in these like crazy shapes, and I don't even know what they are. And he had one. It was in a movie. And of course I can't think of the frickin' movie. It might have been Inglourious Bastards. No. It's another high tier movie like that, but it's not Inglourious Bastards. I'm thinking of that because of when the German, he has that gigantic fucking pipe. but that's not the one he made. It might have been from Django or something. I'll have to ask him what it was.
That's actually kind of fucking cool.
He makes really cool pipes. Like I'm not even a tobacco guy or whatever, but they are very fucking cool.
Erevan's gonna have to pick up a pipe to go along with his goatee and everything. He's a gunslinger after all.
Oh, that would be
So
sick.
he need a cigar, pipe, or something.
That'd be sick as fuck if his flintlock isn't like going off, so he just like ignites the powder with a cigar or something. How cool would that be? I mean, he'd have to get his face away from that like ASAP, but I think
It'll
it
be a
could work.
long pipe. It's a nice long pipe. He just tapped out the last cinder into it.
Yeah.
I also have some oh, sorry. My wife got me rubies,
Rupees.
like Legend of Zelda rupees, but also color-coded dice that go with them.
There you go.
I really thought those
I don't
were
have
like,
a good-
gushers at first.
I'm rocking
Why
the
does Vinny have large gushers?
gemstone dice tonight. I love these freaking dice.
Vinny, put your pants on.
Shit. Wait.
Oh, I see that Vox Machina.
Roll, baby.
Ooh.
Any hoodles. We'll push this last half hour, 45 minutes. So, as you guys delivered the I believe he said the crates of spell books off to Archificus's manor, who Alena so aptly swindled nearly immediately. There's kind of like a brief moment after the heavy thud of the door closing where you guys are all like, wow, Alena, that was Did he just say Archificus?
Yep. Yes, he did.
And you guys kind of pause and like look at each other like, yeah.
We have to come back here tomorrow.
We have to leave now.
Let's go back to the tavern and regroup.
Let's go back to Orlafins and then back to the tavern.
Mm-hmm.
We got to return this medallion.
We'll need it.
We'll need it.
We'll need it tomorrow.
Maybe
We'll
we
see
can
if-
ask him as a favor to borrow it.
Yeah.
I will say that you guys know he asked you to deliver this because his shop was closing soon, and it was too late for him. So you guys would know he'd be closed right now anyway.
Well, perhaps the morning.
Well, we can talk to Alea and see when they open. We could stop by before heading back.
Aye, maybe get an extension.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth a shot.
Oh.
Onward.
I'm excited to get back to Leah's Towers.
Yeah.
I'm puttering right along.
Put,
I'm gonna play some music. I'm gonna have some fun.
So, as you guys each begin to step away from Archificus's manor, hopefully that can hear me all right. I never am totally sure with this microphone where it's pointed. As you guys step away from the manor, and you begin to return your way through the nicer end of the North Arc, Karl is sobering up by this point. He didn't exactly have like the most alcoholic drink in the world.
But it was delicious.
Yes, it was. As you guys are traveling through. So, if any of you have been to Savannah, you'll know that it's what? No, sorry. Thought I heard.
said yes.
Okay. One of the like major things that they talk about and is obvious just from walking around the town or city, whatever, where Forrest Gump was filmed. There are these large squares of I wouldn't say they're big enough to be like a park, but there are homes that border these squares, where there are numerous pathways kind of cutting through left, right, straight, back, whatever, as well as large overhanging trees, as well as I believe it's called Spanish moss. It's this real dark color. It's over all the trees down there. It's crazy. You guys pass one of those squares while you're going through the north side of the North Arc. I'll think of a catchier name for that for the next stream. It's not working, but you guys know who you are. And each of the sizable houses that border this have their own sort of planted greenery, and the distance from where you're staying to the opposite side is about 40 yards. So it's not a small square of this greenery that kind of breaks up the monotony of while they are impressive buildings, there's a lot of them, and they do have a large stamp of a large footprint of where you guys aren't allowed to go, and these seem to be public from what you can tell. I do have notes here about where sunlight touches down, but there is no sunlight right now because it's nighttime. As you guys are... Good night.
Hi, Ava.
As you guys are walking past this, and the lights that you guys had seen before are still floating around. Every now and then they pass through the square, but they don't linger in any particular spot. So one thing I did forget to mention, as you guys were drunkenly walking through, or maybe I didn't forget to mention it, maybe you didn't notice it, there have been infrequent passings of predominantly carriages. They would be carrying in multiple dinghy-sized boats, or maybe sometimes a little bit larger fishing boats, as well as kind of rough-looking crew members who would have wrinkled skin, that heavy leathery color and texture to their skin after working in the sun all day, every day for years. And as you guys are walking back, there aren't too many of them out at this point. Every maybe 20 minutes as you guys are walking, a carriage will come clopping by with some ornate fixtures around the housing. And on the opposite side of the square, you'll hear a sudden crash. This voluminous boom that, as you guys look over, you can almost see the beams of light that can just make it through the dust cloud that kicks up from the floating orbs that are kind of, now a few of them are kind of approaching that specific area. You guys can choose to run that direction, or you can stay right there or walk away. It's your choice.
I'm going in.
I'm following.
I'm gonna pull my dagger out and follow.
So
Fists.
Immediately stabby.
It's for
How far away is
protection.
it?
I will say I did not expect Alena to be the thieving, stabbing type. I didn't pick up on that in the backstory stage.
I love it.
Maybe I picked the
How far away
wrong
is
class.
this?
Dude, this is a fresh environment. Just gotta survive.
He's Bear Grylls out in here.
I was like
So this is how far away?
40 yards.
Elena's a survivor.
So Alena, shing, she's ready to fucking go as Karl charge. It's with that nice little roll on the tongue.
For me!
As you guys sprint carelessly head first into the square,
Oh yeah.
I would like to stealth before I get to the square.
Okay, make a stealth check. So since you're stealthing, you will be moving at a slower pace than your compatriots, so Erevan will be behind them.
That's okay, because I got a natural 20 plus a 1.
Okay.
So that's awesome.
Notes. Erevan. 20s. 1.
So because I have a +1 already, or no, +3. So it'd be a 23 total because I have proficiency.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
Because of my character.
Yep, right. So as you guys all start to charge into the area where you see the plume of smoke to be coming from, at least from what you can see from the lights, Erevan he slows down, like, this might not be the best idea, and he kind of like dives in one of the bushes and like kind of makes his way across. I guess by the time you guys would get about halfway there, 20 yards, 18 feet. So he'd be 60 feet. By the time you guys get there, he would be, since you can move, I think I just saw 35 feet, Erevan?
Yep, I have 35 feet movement, so I have a bit.
Hey, Karl, aren't you 25?
25.
Okay.
My little legs.
Yeah.
Erevan stealthing faster than Karl is running full tilt.
I think it's about the same, actually.
It is totally a Gimli and Legolas moment.
This dude's Naruto running
Gimli's
in
just
stealth.
fucking hardcore.
Okay. That's fantastic. So, as you guys are running that direction, you guys will see this. She's difficult to see in where she is running sort of outward from the smoke. So as you guys are running towards it, you see this one figure kind of quickly dash out from the plume of smoke, and it kind of trails her a little bit as she does one of those, like, where she plants her foot and like slides at an angle before like catching herself and then running straight for you guys. She is relatively dark skin. You guys can see that she has, I think at this distance you can't really see what exactly she's wearing, but you can see her arms are exposed. She's got kind of like a blue, some kind of blue under dress going on with these purple, I don't want to say scarf because it's not a scarf, but some kind of purple fabric that is going cross body on her. And she has these dreadlocks that extend down the center and right side of her head. At least that's all you guys can see. That's kind of, I don't want to say billowing in the wind, but it bounces as she runs. And you can see she like looks behind her and is like looking at you guys, but not looking at you in detail, just kind of taking stock of what's around her. Sorry, my throat is super dry. So, you guys are, let's see, you made it halfway, that's 20 yards. It's another 20 yards. So you guys are 60 feet from each other. So in one turn of movement, except for Karl, kind of, we'll say in one turn of movement to keep things simple here. If both parties continue on their trajectory, you guys would meet. I want to give you guys time to decide, and it looks like she's going to keep running straight from what you guys can tell. So I'll go down the list of Erevan. I'll ask you last because you're stealthing. I'll go down the list of what you guys want to do, and you can say like, I'm just going to do X, like run ahead, or you can say I'm going to run, but if she like Alena, like if she comes too close, I'll make a stab. So I'll let you guys determine what you want to do. So Alena, what do you think she would do in this situation?
I want to try and tackle her.
If she gets too close?
Yeah.
Okay.
And try and grab her.
Okay. Angene? You're muted. Yeah, there you go.
My bad. I am going to kind of just pull up short. Like, if she's going to be coming at me, I'm going to be coming at her. I'm probably not going to let her get right up on me. So I'm just going to pull up.
Okay. And
I'm going to...
I will just
I'm also
add,
going to shout out... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to add, you guys do not see any weapons. She is just, like, full sprint.
I'm going to add, like... I'm just going to, like, yell out, like, what's going on? Why are you running?
Okay. Anything else, Angene? Who's kind of pulling back a little bit. Mm-hmm. Harratuk?
I think I'm gonna try to get behind her. Like, who's trying to grab her? Alena.
Yeah, you can see Alena kind of winding up.
I'll try to like cover like any like escape if she tries to jump out of the way of Alena. Sort of like box her in.
Okay.
Sounds like a help.
That's what I was thinking. Is what that would translate to. So we'll say if she were to come within that grapple range, that Alena would have advantage on that. Karl?
I would shout, don't let down your guard! Just to see if any guards are around.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Okay, Harratuk, or I'm sorry, Erevan?
Erevan is going to continue to stay stealth and watch to see what she is being chased by, because if somebody is running, something is most likely following, and I want to know what it is or who it is. Okay.
So as you guys are all charging forward, Karl, guard! just screams out, kind of like looking around. It might not. What is Karl's passive I think passive perception would just be 10 at this point.
Yeah.
Unless he has 10. Like wisdom.
Wisdom is just 10 and no specialization.
Okay. I'm going to say Karl wouldn't recognize that. So, Karl exclaims for guards to come by, looking around and not seeing any uniform of any kind. There are people here and there who have armor or weapons, but they're kind of... They look like they might be private, like there's crests on them, but it does, like, for this kind of ritzy neighborhood that you'd be in, you'd expect them to have some kind of commonality between the style of the towns and maybe the style of the armor or the crest. Everything looks to be kind of private, like everybody has their own private sets. What did Angene say? Remind me again.
I was basically just asking why she was running, and like I pulled up just to kind of like why are you running? Like, yeah.
Okay. So she sees you guys and is like taking stock. I think Erevan said he was keeping an eye for what might be chasing her. He doesn't see any. He doesn't see anything yet. I will say Erevan sees like some of the lights that are still within the plume of smoke they look to be kind of searching randomly within the smoke first. Like they haven't quite realized that whatever they're looking for is already gone.
Okay. Ninja vanished.
Perhaps.
Oh, fuck.
She is going to continue running towards you guys, and you can just kind of hear her saying like, hey, cover for me, and she will keep approaching you guys. So, Alena,
Yeah.
if you are going for that grapple, you do have advantage.
Yep. Sweet.
Ooh, that's a good roll.
I don't know this woman. Oh, hell
I got
no.
2 6s.
Oh hell no.
2 6s, so no.
Yeah, that was a natural 19 plus things.
Ooh. Yeah. No.
So she kind of like deftly just gets around Alena and kind of makes a she is backtracking, kind of goes like, and so you guys Adam, I think I heard you say something.
I was saying, can we tell what she looks like now better since she's like very close?
Oh yeah. So it is still kind of dark, but she's close enough, and there's enough like ambient light still.
Also, I have dark vision.
I hate you. So you guys can definitely tell she does have fairly dark skin, kind of that like, I'll have to think of a comparison later. She does have very dark skin. She has very tightly braided hair from the front to the back and on her right side, but you can see it is shaved on the left with some hard to pick out details while she's running, and it's kind of dark and you guys are like freaking out. It's kind of hard to see what she has shaved into the side of her head.
So definitely not a tabaxi that I'm looking for. Okay.
No, she's humanoid. Yes, she's definitely human. She does have these. You can see she does have just black tattoos on her left arm. I'll say you can't depict exactly what they are while all of this commotion is going on. But she has a blue sleeveless shirt that kind of transits into like a dress that only goes to about her knees.
So
And
it's a tunic.
I was trying to think of ways to describe this because I'm not trying to make like a sexy character because that's lame. But she is wearing a dress,
So
and it is.
sexy.
Listen, that's up to Alena. Because it's not a loose dress, because you can tell like just by the way that she's in, like the way she just dodges Alena, like she keeps it very form fitting. So there's so it reduces the chance of her being grabbed randomly. And there are 2 purple crossbody, kind of like silky material pieces of fabric that have belts going around them to kind of keep them close to her body, as well as a little bit larger of a belt that rests around her waist.
Do we see weapon now that she's much closer?
You had a natural 20, so go ahead and make a perception check. I'll give that one to you. Because she just no idea that you're there.
So dirty 20, 18 plus 2, because I have 2 on my perception.
Yeah, you can. Erevan is kind of like doing what he can to look to get a good view of her, even though she's running. And he can see like a few handles of what look to be small bladed weapons, but she's not reaching for them or anything. But she is armed to a degree, from what Erevan can tell. And she's like just like looking at Alena like, and she kind of like weaves between Harratuk and Angene, and then as you guys are looking forward, you'll see a few faces start to poke out from the smoke up ahead. I'll say at this point everybody just kind of stops running because it doesn't make sense that you would keep running if she's already next to you. And she'll like just emperor for me? And she'll dive back in the bush. And that's when she'll see
hello.
Erevan. Yeah. And she'll be like, God! Just...
I'm hiding. Can't you tell? You're being quite loud.
And she's like, sorry. So for you guys, she actually had a pretty good stealth check, 17 plus modifiers. So her and Erevan, you guys are like, she was just here. She fell. So as you guys are kind of dazed and confused here, you can see a few. You can see a few individuals, all of whom are armored up and have large weapons on them, slowly start to like emerge from the smoke. None of their weapons are drawn. It didn't seem like anyone got hurt. Excuse me. You didn't hear any screams of people like they got hurt. It was just kind of they were freaking out from the panic. So you guys will see 3 armored individuals. 2 up front kind of look like kind of your stereotypical grunts where they have matching armor. And there's a third, much larger with his face covered individual on the back. He's got like lights that are hovering above him. He has like a greatsword on his back, and they're not running anywhere. They're looking around, and you can see other armored individuals as well going in different directions, and they're questioning pretty much everybody they find. So they're making their way to you guys, kind of giving you the stink eye that you guys are just hovering around in this dark, what did Viking say? In this courtyard garden. And
I'm putting my dagger away.
Good choice. And so Erevan, you can feel her kind of like she's like on the ground, like not sitting down, but like just she's on her butt, and she kind of like pushes with her feet, like kind of, and backs up into you, and she just goes shh, and you hear her like look elsewhere and just go shh, I know that. And so these guards will come up to you guys, kind of eye you down. They look like they're about to pass you, and then one stops. You're a very odd-looking group of individuals.
Thank you.
Who, us?
You didn't That one got me, Kyle. You didn't happen to release any boats from their hanging mounts, did you?
No, but we saw some weirdo run by here a second ago.
Who was it?
I don't know, some lady with dreads.
Which way did she go?
Went to that points a direction because I'm not exactly sure.
Make a deception check. Yeah, I'll give you advantage because Kyle made me laugh. I don't know. It just like caught me off guard.
Is that DM inspiration there?
14.
You talked to us? We talked to.
14. Okay, they definitely look like they want to question these fucking freaks in their courtyard gardens. But there's kind of bigger matters at hand, and so they look at each other. Come on. And they both kind of run off. And the big guy who's completely covered, probably as tall as Harratuk and maybe twice the muscle, just lumbers on by. You guys can't see any details of his face or anything, but it's not hard to piece together, even as commoners. You don't want to be on the business end of that particular sword.
The new Wookiee from Boba Fett.
I haven't watched it.
Spoilers.
So as you guys are watching and letting things die down, making sure all of whoever is wearing armor at this point gets out of sight. She she pokes her head up out of the bush.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Who's your daddy?
And what does he do?
Does he do?
She just has this big step as she gets out of the bush. And she's like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. And she just goes, thanks. And she starts to
I'm gonna try and tackle her again.
step away. Okay. I'll give you the surprise round on that one. Make your strength check.
6.
Odd.
No.
I just imagine Alena just diving towards her and she just sidesteps as I just fly right by.
I don't even think she sidesteps. I think as she's stepping out from the bush, Alena was just trying to time it, and when she clears the hedges, Alena just whoosh, right past her, just right next to Erevan, and Erevan's giggling who is your daddy and what does he do?
Yeah.
What?
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
And she's just sidles out of the bushes, looks around. I think it's clear.
What did you do to piss them off? Other than the boat.
She's like, you I'm ignoring, and she looks at Alena. You stop. And she looks at Karl She looks at Karl Harratuk, and I'm gonna. Thanks. Bye.
Why are you running from these people?
She's looking around, and she ducks behind a tree. Well, and you guys can see people just kind of walking along the street past.
I'm still in the bushes.
I know. She looks around. I don't know where she is, but maybe you can. She might be on the rooftops. Can you get me there?
She.
Shh.
No, not sh. She.
She's
Who are you trying to find?
I'm trying to listen. Do you guys need something?
We need a lot of things.
Or nosy. Why are you running from them?
And she hides behind the tree again. I'm fine, I'll tell him. I'm just trying to get back at these slave drive funding fucks. Because you gotta hit them where their wallet is. This is the fish.
Have you seen it?
Oh, go ahead, Adam.
Have you seen a tabaxi with a tattoo like this on their left arm? And I'm going to show her my left wrist. Showing the slave tattoo.
And she looks at it. Should I tell him? Listen.
Eyes narrow.
Listen, I gotta go. Thanks. And she'll just start running off. If nobody chases after her,
I'm following.
She'll dodge. She'll dodge between the trees.
I will follow along, and I don't think she's going to escape.
Okay, yeah. So she definitely sees you guys following her, and now she's kind of oh, fuck, the hunt is on.
If possible, can I do one of those things where I'm running backwards, just looking at her so are you going to tell me yet?
Make.
I live in the woods, man. This is what I do.
Swamp. He has swamps.
Yeah, swampiness. Difficult terrain areas where I live.
That's probably acrobatics. Make an acrobatics check.
Oh god.
Because athletics is lifting.
I don't think I have any.
I don't think you have any proficiencies yet.
Not for acrobatics. I think I'm still 0. +1 because it's dex. So
You'll have a
19.
+1.
Yeah,
What was
19,
it?
19.
Hot.
They're
damn.
all rolling. They're all rolling in the campaign thing, so you can check all my rolls too.
Oh no, I don't doubt you guys.
Well, you know, when we're at Festival in the Forest, I was rolling in front of the guy, and he's like, "You're rolling really high all the time." Like, it's your dice, and it's in front of you.
Yeah, the one guy who's a dick. Yeah. Yeah. So you guys are like watching her kind of carefully bobbing and weaving, maybe with some grace, between these trees, and Erevan is doing it fucking backwards. He's like springing from bush to tree. And he's like doing like those dramatic poses, like what you're running from. And she's visibly uncomfortable that she cannot shake this goateed, like feathered hat wearing stranger. And she's like, I'm just trying to, like, look, I did what I needed to. It caused some damage, had a little fun, and now we need to leave.
But have you seen a tabaxi with a tattoo? Like this.
like just running backwards like this. Yeah. She's like, why would I tell you that? Like trying to like break away from Erevan, but he's just not like giving her anything. Why would I even?
Because we're trying to save them. They're part of our group. Something has happened. We need to find them.
Yeah, well, just because you say that doesn't mean it's true. Stop that. As he's like still keeping with her. Can you? And she looks up. She stops dead in her tracks and she looks up. Can you get me out of here? And then she kind of like, oh, that'll work. And this like mist kind of starts to take over her. And as you guys look at her, she completely dissipates from that location.
Elena's going to make one more attempt as she's dissipating, knowing full well, for me, that I'm not going to make it, but I just want to jump at it.
I'll give you one more.
When she says that, I'm also going to look up and be like, can you get me out of here too? I don't know who she was talking to, but I'm hoping it works.
Alena?
I rolled an 11.
Okay, so this is, of all of the attempts, this one, you at least were, like, on trajectory.
Yeah.
But she gets, like, one last look at you before she, like, completely fades and you, like, charge through her body.
That's exactly what I wanted to have happen.
Yeah, so, with that, as far as you guys can tell, she disappeared without a trace. As there are individuals at this point. You guys would be like on the opposite side of this now. You would see kind of the commotion, the source of the commotion that she had caused. It looks like there were several large metal fishing cages, each one heavily rusted or covered in barnacles or kind of old fishing wire, lots of things like that. Excuse me, goodness. Several of them looked like they may have been on like a lifting crane of some kind, maybe getting ready to be put on a cart or either removed from them. Whatever may have been happening, the line that was picking them up looks to have been severed at one point. You can see the rope is heavily frayed at where the cut was made. And there are maybe about around a dozen people you guys can see trying to each fix whatever they can that is broken in the immediate area. There are several of those lights overhead that are kind of focusing down on where all of the I don't want to say rubble, where all of the damaged items are, and people they're standing them up, kind of getting reorganized, but you don't see any more armored individuals. It seems like they all dissipated, chasing this phantom in some direction. And Erevan does not receive an answer and does not miss.
Damn it.
Well, that's just great. That was a
Pick
lead
myself up
gun.
and dust off.
There's a lot of dust for Alena. 3
Pull the twigs
whiffs.
and stuff out of the hair.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
Well, should
No
we head
answers.
back? Or should
I
we
guess,
keep
I don't-
looking?
I feel like she's long gone now. I don't think we'd find her tonight even if we tried.
But we will remember her.
Hey,
We should probably head back to where we were staying.
the tower.
Yeah.
Okay. So as Alena dusts herself off, Erevan and maybe some of the others kind of do one last look, and there is no sign of heads or tails of this girl. So you guys pick up your things. You're stopped to be questioned maybe once or 2 more times because you are a group of freaks in this particular area, but with a quick flash of the mage's medallion, no more questions. They're like, whatever you're here for, it's official business, and they leave you alone. You guys get back to Alea's. The front doors are still open, but many of the lanterns or other lightings that were on the walls or the side support beams that were going up, most of them are extinguished. There's a couple people here and there drinking, but there's nobody behind the bar at this point. All the lights over there are dark, as well as the balcony where the instruments are is completely dark. And you can see where the 2 hallways were on the left and right side by the where Angene actually went down the right hallway. There are hallways that extend, and there are room numbers that match your keys. So you guys have
3.
you guys have 3 keys. The rooms are ample enough to fit like if you wanted to squeeze 3 people in, you could. Not including the half-orc and the minotaur.
I'm gonna offer to, like, I'll sleep. I guess I'll just say, I'm okay with sleeping in the room with somebody if somebody wants to share.
I don't mind with bunking with someone.
Sleep with the dwarf.
I don't care where I sleep.
Ooh.
I can share a room with Angene. That way, Alena can have her own room.
It works for me.
Kyle, you froze
All
again.
right.
There you go. Now I saw the shrug. That's the most important thing.
Okay.
Okay, so we will stop there for tonight. That was good. That was a lot of stuff I wanted to get done. So that was a you guys
That
did a
was
lot.
great.
I didn't get an answer. I will get my answer.
No, you didn't get an answer. Fucking great session, you guys. I have session 4 in the dueling date books for Saturday the 29th. And then so we'll have session 4 on the 29th, session 5 on the 12th, assuming everybody can make it. And then after that, we go back to the Friday time slot, which would be nice because we can have a little bit longer sessions. That'll be really nice.
Ooh.
If you guys want, I know,
No,
hours. I know you want to.
wouldn't mind.
It depends what work hours allow. So if we could start it, if not, we'll start at 7 again and keep that going. Or if we could start like 6:30, I'm fine with that as the DM. But we'll
I'm
talk about that more the closer we get.
I'm definitely out the 12th.
You are out the 12th. Okay.
Yes, I'm in St. Louis.
I
So,
should
I'm
be fine the 12th. I will put a.
We'll talk about it next
Yeah, I'll
session.
put a. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. If two people are out, we'll reschedule.
I'm out the 26th of February. 'Cause that would be at the next one after the 12th.
That we would be
We can go back
playing.
to the Fridays on that one.
Yeah, we'd be playing the 25th.
The 25th.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so that works. Then.
But yeah, we'll talk about that more next session. For now, it sounds like we're all good for the 29th, though, for session 4.
I believe so.
Okay, I am going to cut the stream, so Viking and, especially Viking, thank you. For anybody else who may have stopped in and enjoyed the stream, thank you guys for stopping by. See you for session 4, or if anybody is watching regularly, you will see my other group next week with their session 3. Good night.
Bye.
Group 1 rules.